Okay, let's dive into this. If you are a stock contributor, an e-commerce seller, or an agency photographer, you already know the single most painful bottleneck in your workflow. It's not the shoot, and it's definitely not the edit. It's the tagging. Sitting there, photo after photo, trying to pull dozens of relevant keywords out of thin air just so your images actually get found. Well, today's explainer is all about solving that exact problem. We are looking at the ultimate 2026 ranking of the 11 best AI metadata generators that are specifically designed to tackle bulk photo tagging.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The photo tagging bottleneck. 2. The true metadata test. 3. Top contenders head-to-head. 4. APIs for the builders. 5. Niche and native options. And finally, number 6. Picking your perfect tool.
Section 1. The photo tagging bottleneck. Time is money. Because the sheer amount of manual labor needed for standard stock and e-commerce tagging, it's just staggering.
To really put this into perspective, tagging 1,000 stock photos by hand takes a full work week. That is 40 hours of lost productivity, just staring at a screen, typing out the words sunset for the 100th time. But if you use the right AI metadata generator, that exact same job runs in under 20 minutes. I mean, the contrast is literally night and day. But, and this is a massive but, that incredibly fast 20-minute promise comes with a catch. Choosing the right tool literally makes or breaks your business, because most of the AI tagging tools flooding the market right now produce generic, low-grade keywords, and those will actually hurt your rankings on platforms like Shutterstock and Adobe Stock instead of helping them.
Which brings us to Section 2, the true metadata test, the hidden metrics. We really have to ask the crucial question here. Does that AI-generated metadata actually survive the upload?
So there are 3 hidden metrics that separate the real Pro Tools from the prototypes. First up, does the tool write to both IPTC IAM and Adobe XMP namespaces? These are the industry-standard data fields, and you need to hit both in parallel. Shutterstock reads one, Adobe Stock prefers the other. If a tool doesn't populate both, you are essentially invisible. Second, does it preserve HEIC metadata natively? Most consumer tools will just silently convert your iPhone HEIC photos to JPEG, which completely destroys the original metadata. It's a nightmare. And third, does it actually respect platform limits? Like if an AI spits out 75 keywords, but Shutterstock strictly caps you at 50, you've just created a massive manual cleanup job for yourself, totally defeating the entire purpose of automating it in the first place.
Moving on to Section 3, Top Contenders Head-to-Head, the heavyweights. We're going to deeply analyze the tools that are actually built for serious, high-volume stock and e-commerce workflows.
Looking at our clean visual comparison here with the brand logos side by side, Exif Injector takes the #1 spot overall because it actually passes all 3 of our hidden metrics. It outputs up to 50 IPTC keywords, writes directly into both JPEG and HEIC files without dropping any data, and it's built to inject titles and copyright info all at once at massive scale. Now, contrasting that with Phototag.ai, we see an excellent cloud-first alternative. It understands stock marketplace conventions brilliantly, but it operates on a credit-based system that can get pretty expensive once you push past 2,000 photos. Plus, it requires you to deal with CSV files or writebacks since it doesn't have native HEIC embedding. So it's a really strong specialist tool, but Exif Injector definitely wins out when file format and embedding integrity matter the most.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Exif Photo Pro. It fills a very unique use case. It is the undisputed winner for offline tagging. If you're a journalist or working at an agency with super strict non-disclosure agreements, your photos literally cannot leave your local network. Exif runs its vision model entirely on your local machine for a one-time license fee. It handles people, scenes, and emotions incredibly well. You might need to manually tweak some terms for super strict stock submissions, sure, but for ultimate privacy, this is hands down the tool.
Okay, Section 4. APIs for the builders, developer pipelines. These tools are fundamentally different. They aren't out-of-the-box software for everyday users, they are the raw materials for developer pipelines.
Contrasting the giant logos of Google Cloud Vision and Microsoft's Azure AI Vision, we see just incredible scale. Google covers almost every general image analysis need you can possibly imagine at a very low per-call cost. Azure matches that scale, but edges ahead just slightly with its dense captioning feature, which writes out natural language image descriptions. But here's the massive catch for both of them. They deliver their output as JSON files, not embedded metadata. So if you use these, your engineering team actually has to build the embedding logic themselves to get those keywords into an IPTC field. Next up in the API space, we have Clarify and Imaga. Clarify is the enterprise-level heavyweight. If you manage a massive library like 100,000 plus images and need custom model training for niche domains like apparel or real estate, Clarify is absolutely what you use. Imaga, on the other hand, is a highly cost-effective API for custom ingestion scripts. It's fantastic for developer prototypes. Again, both are incredibly powerful raw materials, but neither is a turnkey solution for a solo photographer. You absolutely need developers to assemble the final product here.
Section 5. Niche and Native Options. The Ecosystem Tools. Let's look at tools built directly into existing workflows or those aimed at highly specialized, single use cases and hobbyists.
I know a lot of you are already living inside Adobe Lightroom. Lightroom Classic recently added an AI keyword suggestion feature, and the massive advantage here is that it writes directly to Adobe XMP metadata inside your existing catalog. Boom, done. But when it comes to true bulk scale, say processing more than 100 photos at a time, the workflow gets so incredibly awkward and frustrating. On top of that, the keywords tend to lean toward pretty generic terms rather than the highly optimized vocabulary you need for stock platforms. So it's a great convenience if you're already there, but it's not quite a primary volume metadata tool.
Then we have AC/DC Photo Studio Ultimate, which takes a different approach by offering an excellent digital asset manager, or DAM, with great features like face recognition and lightning-fast indexing. The built-in AI keywording is fine, though relatively average compared to the dedicated standalone AI tools we've talked about. But for an attractive one-time license fee, it's a really solid package if you're in the market for a full DAM system anyway and just want the tagging included as a nice bonus.
Now, if you just want to quickly tag your folder of beach vacation photos, Pick to Tag is your lightweight desktop option. You literally just drop a folder in, get your keywords, and write them back. It is incredibly budget-friendly and absolutely perfect for personal libraries or hobbyists. But because the AI model is a bit lighter, it just lacks the depth and domain coverage required to impress those strict commercial stock reviewers.
And this brilliantly illustrates the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Keywords AI. This is a highly specialized tool that is laser-focused on one thing and one thing only: stock photography marketplaces. It completely nails the approval rules for Shutterstock and Getty Images, generating the exact terminology those platforms are looking for. However, because it is so hyper-focused, it completely falters if you try to use it outside of strict stock photography. Like if you try it on Etsy product listings or your personal archives, it's just not going to work out well at all.
Which brings us to Section 6, Picking Your Perfect Tool, the final verdict. Let's lock in the exact software based on your distinct volume and metadata needs.
So the crucial point is really perfectly captured in this visual summary. If you're a developer, raw APIs like Imaga or Google Cloud are your building blocks. If you absolutely need complete offline privacy, Exire is your go-to. If you just want something quick for a vacation folder, Pick to Tag works great. But if you are doing production volume for stock and e-commerce, Exif Injector really stands out. It's the only one that rigorously passes that 3-check metadata test, writing to both IPTC and XMP, preserving HEIC natively, and respecting platform limits right out of the box. I want to leave you with this final thought. When you're evaluating an AI tool in 2026, do not get distracted by a massive output of generic keywords or flashy marketing. You need to ask yourself, is your workflow built for screenshots or for actual production volume? True metadata embedding integrity, meaning ensuring those tags actually survive the upload and reach the marketplace, is the only thing that will actually drive your revenue. Choose the tool that protects your data. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Your images carry more than pixels. They carry your brand, your location, your copyright. With Exif Injector, you inject the right metadata into every photo. Exif, IPTC, XMP. In bulk, in seconds. Whether you sell on Etsy, Shopify, or stock platforms, your images finally speak to search engines. Give life to your images. Visit exifinjector.com. Start free today.